Hey y'all, it's Melissa at Messy Missy Creates. It's Inspired to Create Day, where we attempt to inspire you to create. Allison and I, if you aren't familiar with this, Allison at AJ's Inspired Life, and I came up with this hashtag or this challenge back in February of this year, and we just started it to encourage each other to create with items that we might not normally create with. Just some random page. It doesn't have to be anything specific. There's really no parameters, no hard and fast rules. We choose to get us going, we choose a word for each week. And this is week 4 of July of 2023. And we use that word. Sometimes they pertain to the month, sometimes they may not, like today. We, let's see. What haven't I said already? Yeah. We use the word to launch, or as a starting point to find our prompts. So we take a word and we use each letter of that word to pick a prompt, and then we put all those prompts together on one page, hopefully. Anyway, sometimes, again, if you're new here, you can do this in any form you want. It doesn't have to be a journal. I've made cards out of these prompts. I've done glue book pages, I've done art journal, and I've just done regular collage, pages. So any medium, anything you want to choose. You could also take that word and just do a whole page of, like, I think it was last week, it was sparkler. You could have done like a whole page of a bunch of sparklers, whatever you want to do. It's just, it's a tool to inspire us to use some things that we might not normally use, and to get us using some craft supplies in a different way, maybe. Anyway, with all that said, we hope you join us. If you create something, please use this hashtag. If you post on Instagram or YouTube, use inspired, 2, create _2023. So I'm going to leave that right there so that you can see it. Also, if you will tag us, I'm Messy Missy Creates, and Allison is AJ's Inspired Life. Tag us on Instagram. And or if you make a YouTube video, we'd love to see it. And if you tag us, then we're sure to see it. So, or at least I think we're sure to see it. So anyway, so right off the bat, I'm going to contradict something that I just said. I did disclaimer it. This week was kind of funny. This is normally the week that Allison and I mail each other prompts. Well, that was not possible for either one of us this time for several different reasons. It's been a little bit of a crazy month for both of us, so we decided to do it. We're still challenging each other, but it is in a little bit different fashion, and the word doesn't pertain to July, although I think it really does, because I think this could describe both of our months. Random. Not gonna lie, full disclosure, we had a different word planned out that did sort of pertain to July, at least July in our world. And yeah, it had 2 letters in it that when we picked this new technique, it was not happening. So anyway, just thought I would do that. So this time, instead of, typically I would pick a prompt that starts with R, a prompt that starts with A, N, D, and so on and so forth. This time we decided to change it up, and do it with the word that ends in an R, ends in an A, ends in an N. I tell you what, my brain has gone flip-flop, upside down. This was a lot harder than I thought. I mean, no, I'm pretty sure I thought it was going to be fairly hard. But it's been challenging. It's something new. It's a different twist on it. And I've actually enjoyed it. So, have I picked my prompts? No, not really. You want to see my prompts? It looks like this. Yeah, I have lots of ideas. I've kind of zeroed in on some of them. There's one or two that I'm not 100% sure of. So with that said, this is the space I'm working with. If you've been following me for a little while, you know that the last 2 months I've given myself extra pages in my journal for this reason. See right here, it says ITC number 4. So this is Inspired to Create number 4, or week 4. And that way I have a double page spread. It doesn't take away space from my my daily page. There's times when I had no problem fitting it on one little page, but there was times where to use the prompts that when we had long words, it was running over. So anyway, that was my option, or my choice. And I don't have to use both pages, but it's given me the room to use both pages. So I'm going to narrow down. Okay, so let's talk about all these prompts I chose. And let's talk about these 2 magazines you see sitting right here. Well, when I first started picking out words, I thought I knew where I was going. Then I couldn't really find those prompts very easily. I could have spent all day looking for them, and I know that I have them somewhere. But in the meantime, when I need inspiration, I'll start looking at old magazines and coming up with words. Does this end with? Does this end with? And so my brain's kind of doing a about face on that. But anyway, I've kind of zeroed in on a theme a little bit. And A is going to be, for me, it is going to be my technique. I usually try to have focal point, background, technique to do these pages, because that way you're not gluing so many things onto each other. You know, like stencil for S, or a color, or something like that. Well, and actually I probably could have, in hindsight, I could have probably thought of a color. Well, color in general, I did have originally for my R. But anyway, so I thought about it, and I found something that was kind of era, E-R-A, like a time frame, an era, not error, but era, was one of my original words for A. And so that kind of was sticking in the back of my head. And so I knew I had these 2 old magazines. Well, they're not as old as they look. They're from 2020. It's called Reminisce. And I've loved them because it has lots of vintage pictures in it. So I started thumbing through here, and I found some things that I could make work with my letters. So what I've kind of pulled so far is, these are my options. So, well, let me get my word back over here. So for R, I have a couple options. Caricature, which this is from the 60s. So that still fits in the era technique. I have, I haven't pulled one yet. My other option was car. There is an old, there's lots of old cars in this. There's also war. And I thought about that one. So I haven't pulled those pictures yet because I had several different options in here. So here's another caricature. And I actually might use that one because I like the black and white. Let me go ahead and take that out. And there's always one that I struggle with, right? There's always one prompt that just doesn't quite fit with your theme. It doesn't make it a bad prompt or a hard prompt. It just makes it, because in and of it by itself is not hard. But anyway, okay, let me continue and then I'll tell you what that one is. So R, I have caricatures. And if I have to use a fallback, I can use war or car. But I kind of thought that would be a cute focal point. And I like him a whole lot better than this other one is Barbra Streisand and Celine Dion. It says 1960 strong vocalist. So that fits from an era. This is Roy Orbison. And you know, he's back from the, what says 30s to the 80s. Originally I was, let's see what, so that's R and A is era. N, I think I'm going to use this Volkswagen, which is another reason why I don't want to use the car. But that was the first one I found. But then I found this, because you know I like me some gardening. So I don't know if you can see that well or not, but they're gardening. And this is what they called the Victory Gardens during World War II. And it was, you know, a lot of the factories, if you know anything about World War II. Anyway, I'm not going to get into that. But there was a lot of people that planted what they called Victory Gardens. So garden in general, and it fits in the era because it's World War II era. So, D, I have, well, I had crossword just in case I couldn't find anything else. Don't know that really fits into the era category, but the sled does. And there was actually another picture of a sled. Where was it? Well, I'll have to find it. So I have sled for D. What I have for O. Yeah, is my O. Oh, here they are. Have these Uno cards. Whoop. If you saw me, I showed you these a while back. I got them at the Dollar Tree months ago. Come on. They're so little. You think, okay, era, really? Did this pertain to an era? Well, it does, because when did this come out? Did this come out in the 80s or the 90s? I mean, it's still an era, right? Well, this says when it was made. It was made in 22. But I know the Uno came out, you know, long before that. So it still fits into the era. But if I end up not wanting to use that, because I was kind of liking my black and white theme and maybe one pop of color, but if not, then I'm going to use photo. And that really can be any photo, right? The other thing I thought about was retro. And Allison, if you're watching this, I'm sorry that I'm throwing out so many options, because I might be stealing some of yours, but you go for it. If you want to use the same ones, go for it. But I'm just kind of brainstorming. So photo was my fallback. M is the one that I'm struggling with. Originally I was going to do farm, and I thought about the garden. That's kind of what I was thinking, but it's not really a farm. So let's thumb through here for a minute. The other thing I was considering was glam. And I had, if I have to use farm, I thought about using this. It's a girl with a horse. But it's not what my original vision was for, for R, I thought about if I didn't end up like the character, which I do now. This was a butcher. An old, I hate to say old-timey, but you know, that's just kind of what we call them. It says 1910s. So that definitely would be an era that's not represented. Glam, I was thinking, well, I saw these perfume bottles, but I was thinking these earrings, they actually look vintage. I don't know that they are, but it doesn't really matter what era I mean, if I could see them and touch them and feel them, I could probably tell you what era they're from, but I don't know just looking at a picture. But I kind of like those, and I like that pop of color. I hate that that one's running off the page. But, you know, when it runs off the page in the book, you run it off the page on your page. So that's typically what I do. There's also this other picture that I found. I can't remember if it's in this one. Oh, look at the Samantha off of Bewitched. Look at this. Ooh, I could do letters for R. I have plenty for R, but see the old letters? There's some fuzzy dice. That does not quite fit in our little... I was trying to either stick... Here's some more earrings. I was trying to either stick with the same era or represent, like, multiple eras. These actually would work, too. Turquoise was big in the 70s, wasn't it? If I can't make glam work, then my other word was random, and I really felt like that was kind of cheating. But here is like a family photo. You can even see they wrote on it. I hate that it covers 2 pages, or I would have snatched that already. But any of these would work for photo. And he cute with his little, oh, look at the doll. I thought about wagon. See, here's car. If I ended up using car, there's a car. Okay, it must be in the other magazine. Oh, here's another car, a black and white car if I wanted that. Maybe it's in here. Look at the old green giant. I love vintage. I love the history of it. I love all things retro. Like, I love the mid-century. I love the graphics. I love the ads. I used to have an antique shop, and that was my favorite. That was my thing. Like 1950s kitchenware, the old Pyrex, all of that. Anyway, so this looks glam to me. This is well, it's an old, I don't know what that would be. Would that be like a play, well, let's see, it's going to tell us. The Precision Skating Chorus, the Glamour Icers. Okay, that's perfect. I may have to use that as glam. Okay, I'm going to set that aside. It takes 2 pages. I'm obviously not going to use both. If I use this side, I'll probably cut around that. So I'm going to leave that open. And my niece is going to be here shortly, so I might have to stop the video when she comes in. Okay, so I'm done with that magazine. Oh, here was another. This could be car or photo. So I'm just going to I have like a grouping of things, and then when I narrow down exactly what I'm using, I'll write it down. I normally have my prompts sealed before I start. I at least have the prompts that I'm using picked out before I start my video, but this time I had options, so I just want to see how they all fit together, and I wanted to start the video and so that I could start cutting up stuff. Not that I couldn't cut up stuff before. What I'm not real pleased with is crossword. What did I have? Let me see what else I had for D. Oh, sled. That's right. I'm trying to get... Let me start with this guy right here, because I'm pretty sure I'm using him. I'm going to loosely cut... Make sure I'm not cutting anything important here. I'm going to kind of loosely cut him just so I can get a size. Well, maybe I should have... That's all right. I was say maybe I should have kept his name on there, but I can always go back and cut it back out. Just so that we remember who he is. Okay, so I have him. And I don't need them. So I can put them to the side. Let me see if there was anything on the back. Oh, there's stuff that I could use for other things, but okay. So that is R. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to use that one. I meant to look up how to spell caricature. Well, anyway, you get what I'm... Now I forgot how to spell character. I'll look it up later. Hey Siri, how do you spell caricature?
Caricatures. C-A-R-I-C-A-T-U-R-E-S.
Huh, I thought it had an H in it. I've never seen that. Okay. I sure thought it was going to have an H in it. Wait, I wasn't done, Siri. Okay, I should have looked that up before. That does not look right, y'all. I'm going to have to, I'm not trusting Siri right now, so. Okay, so let's do, A is Era, so it's a technique. So I don't have something to cut out for it. But I am going to put it, and I know how to spell it. Era. N is Garden. I know I'm using this. Or I'm pretty sure, unless I change my mind. Hold on, I buried my scissors. I'm just cutting. The other thing I thought about using for D was, these are called Bond Girls, but it was kind of pushing the letter of the law, so to speak. You know, that was just if I was desperate. Because that's kind of pushing it on the letter there, because technically girl ends in girl ends in yellow. Did you know that? Girl ends in L. Yeah. So I'm not going to cut this yet, because this might be my background. If it's my biggest piece, it might be my background, and then I'm just going to build around it. I was really trying to use like Factory Worker, and I have one, but I already have my R, and I like him. Let's see. Oh, this is a garden. Garden. Don't you love my commitment and my use of pencil? I'm going to try Sled for this. Now, this is in color, so it's probably... I may leave that on. I don't like when I have to cut around words. That's just not nice. I wish they wouldn't put words. I am going to cut these off. That says Back in Time and Pictures from the Past, so I'm not too worried about that. Okay, that's another big picture, so it might have to go up here. We might have Roy Orbison playing for the people who are doing their garden. You just never know, right? Sled. And O, I'm either going to use Uno, and this one actually is Uno Go. I was tickled about that one to begin with. I can use that on another day. Because I'm really not liking that with this combination, but I'm going to leave it there for a minute. Photo, I can always use this. If I could find, because see, this picture is great, but it's starting to get too big for the page. I mean, it would work. Is there anything on the back I care about? Not really. She's cute. I remember those. And see, I thought about retro. And that's kind of what that is. Yeah, because that, I mean, that kind of fit with the theme. I just wish I could have found something retro. Retro, in my understanding, is something, vintage is something that's 50-ish years. Depends on who you ask. Antique is like 100 plus years. Vintage is about 50 years, I think. Retro is about 20 to 25 years, I think. So that puts retro in the 70s, 80s. Now, I guess 90s. Oh my goodness, we're getting old. Okay. I'm skipping over to glam. I'm going to get this cut out. I might use this photo of this gentleman. I don't know who he is. Let's see. He was... Oh, that's cute. That's from the 60s, isn't it? Opie and Andy Griffith from Mayberry. I like this guy. He's... If I'm going to use a photo, I think I'm going to use him. Let me clear him out. I get my black and white theme is not quite working, but... Oh, here we go. Olympic star. That would have been a good R. But I like my caricature. I like old Roy there. He's cute. He really doesn't go with the page. This goes better with the page. Oh, diner would work. Let's see. No, we're using glam. But that might mean I use this page. Just on the off chance I change my mind. This might be easier to cut around anyway. Yeah, I can cut Spotlight off. Okay, again, this is a big picture. Now, I could cut it down and just, like, cut her out. Well, I'm not getting her without that woman. I could just cut her out. That's not going to be very big. I do want them to overlap, so let me just cut it down a little bit and see what it looks like. You can always cut off more. You can't go back and cut off less. Well, if you can, please let me know how. I mean, lots of glue and tape and all that good stuff, but okay. I liked that word spotlight too, but oh, I did not mean to do that. Maybe I did. I've already started now. I'm committed at this point. I am committed. Because that's going to leave a gap if I put it there. Darn it. Well, I could just square it off. Because that's going to kind of look, you know, look decent there. I get the 2 champagne glasses, so that looks like glam. Remember, these are the glam icers. And I like the back in time. This covers up the pictures from the past. Liking this Uno card a lot less. Okay, so we've settled into glam for the M. I'm assuming that you like seeing the process. I don't know if you do or not. I do when I watch people. I like to know how they chose things. Some of it gets time consuming, but you can tell me your thoughts. I don't know if it will necessarily change how I do things, because this is just kind of how I think. Sorry for my reach. I found something I was looking for yesterday. See, when you put stuff away, you can't find it. So, I sure did like that VW, though. I don't know. I can save him for a V. Because I'm sure we'll have another V soon. And those I always have a hard time finding what to use for a V, and now I have it. I'm hung up on the O, sort of. So I have Era is a thing. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things that I'm going down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's all my goodies, unless I do photo, which kind of like that. Again, it's all from the same era. I'm kind of thinking this one, because it sort of, if I put it down here, it ties into that little bit of color. I mean, all of them are technically photos, but this one actually looks like a photo, like, because it has the you know, the border and everything. So it looks like a legit photo. That's one of the reasons why I kind of liked it. And again, I can always use Uno on another day. I'm not sure if I've used that or not yet. I may have. Let's see. Yeah, I'm almost going to have to do it this way, unless I overlap. I don't want to lose too much of my gardeners down here. I could put that up there. Let me whack on him a little bit more now that I know what I'm doing here, because this is going to be a deciding factor. And sometimes if you trim around something, it really helps you to see, you know, hey, it actually is going to work, because it's not going to hide. You'd be surprised how much of the background you see when you cut around all these little pieces and parts. And so if I'm good with the amount of people or photo I see, or the garden photo, after I cut him out, then I'm going to put him down here. I kind of want it to leave that signature. No, I'm not, because I already cut it. Okay. I think it would run off the page anyway, maybe. I don't know. I would give the artist credit, but I can't read his signature, so. Not gonna cut that just yet, because I think it's gonna run off the page. I keep looking at all my scraps. It's an illness. I'm pretty sure of it. Yeah, he might hang off the page. I have plenty of room in this journal because I made the, yeah, you know, if you watched me make it, you know. You know. Now he is bigger than this little photo down here, but he has shape to him, and I could run the photo off the edge too. Let me think. Because I'm kind of liking him up here, but yeah, I can do that. And maybe I back the photo with something, or I don't know. I never did this hamburger that I let run off last week. It's still, you know, it's still there. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and glue, and I'm going to put photo here. I'm going to lock that in. That's my final answer. Even if my photo changes, it's still a photo. So I'm going to glue this bottom piece down so it quits shifting. And I know where I stand. Never did I think I would use Era as a technique. But you just never know with these things. Make sure I'm still filming here. After my phone cut out on me the other day, now I'm a little paranoid. Anyway, because I know this one's going all the way down, so we're gluing it edge to edge. Mainly the edges. And all the in-between. Let's see. Move over, ladies. I do have a different sled picture somewhere in here. I want to do that so I can tell which is the edge of this page and not the page. I hate it when I do that. Because the page before it has... No. Uh-oh. Okay. Darn it. Well, I thought that this was going to cover my whole page. What happened? Huh. Well, I guess I'll start it at the top. It's already kind of there. Well. I don't know why I thought that was going to fit. I thought I was going to have excess. But anyway, okay. But that way I could... oh, I didn't even do it to the edge of the page. It's okay. It's all good. It's all good. So if I do this and I do this... and I could probably cut that off, but I kind of like it overlapping like that. I wanted to look and see... there was another sled picture somewhere. It was a... oh, there's that one. I really like that one. No. And it's the back page, so it's real glossy. Let me see. This one must be the one where I liked her. But she doesn't take the place of Glam. She would take the place of something I already had. This would be like Worker. So what did I have for R? Oh, the caricature. If I decided not to do the caricature. But we've already decided he's going to be on the page. So, let's see. Plains. More Farm. It's got some really cool pictures in here. Let's see. Snowman. I already had an N though. Yeah, that was my garden. There was a car. This looks more like, looks more like 60s maybe. If it is, it has to be early 60s, because, or late 50s, I thought. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's 46. I don't know. Anyway, that part doesn't matter. That's cool. Well, there was another sled. It was a black and white picture. I already looked through all that. Let me look through the other one. And why was it that I was looking for a different sled? This is not it. I do not remember. But I don't remember this being winter pictures. Yeah. Okay, never mind. We're just using this. We already have it. And it fits right nice and neat up in that corner. So, I'm going to move this one over here. So this is, last week I did kind of glue book style. I guess this is the same way. Which is fine. But, let's see. Some glue down here. Alrighty. And get this up in this top corner. Nope. Well, it looks like I'm going to have an edge. That's alright. It'll match the other side. Let's see if I can get it in there good. Okay. And I can always add other little pictures to it if I decide to. I'm thinking, because this goes over to here, so I kind of want it at least here. And I think I'm just going to use the whole, like right there and there. Ruler, tearing ruler. If you are a tearing ruler, please step forward. Aha. Yeah, I think I'm just going to glue it down approximately. I don't want to waste glue. But I also don't want to under glue it either. So, I think I'm going to glue from here. Oh, mercy. I'm getting blobby. This Scotch Creates glue hasn't been real bad about blobbing. But it's been exceptionally warm here, so maybe. And I'm pushing pretty hard. So, apparently I should not do that. I'm going to do a little over there just so that I make sure I have that bottom good. So if I go, I think that will work. And then I meant to trim that. Darn it. Okay. That's all right. You can still see that red, but it's right there where that kid's jacket is red, so it's not too big of a deal. I know I have to cut this bottom off. I have room on the sides. I don't have room top to bottom. That's going to be a pretty piece in my silver. I don't have a silver page in my glue book. My gray and white, or black and gray, or whatever it is. Black and white. There. That one too. Just background pieces. I might do that with the other half of that page too. Or, nope. Okay, so we pretty much have the page covered except for that strip right there. I really messed that. I don't think I had a whole lot of choice there. All right, Mr. Orbison, your time. Where did you go? Here's the photo. I really like that up there. And I like this here. Yeah, I really kind of do. Yeah, I really like that photo up there. I think maybe because of that red and blue stripe and that the color is all at the top. Although this has some color in it too. Let me check one more time. Yeah, I think that's just too blocky for that bottom that bottom corner. Okay, so I have that there. All right, Roy, it's your turn. I'm going to go ahead and put glue pretty much on all of him, because it's just a little bit that's going to hang off. And on that hamburger, it dried fine. And it actually made the, you know, because magazine paper is really thin. It actually made the magazine paper pretty, it made it a little stiffer. I thought I was going to go add something to it, and I didn't. I never did. When I came back to it, it was dry. And it kind of made the paper a little stiffer. Okay, so I have... notebook, please. Let me shut my glue. So I have caricature for R. Era is the time frame. N is Victory Garden. D is sled. O is photo. And M is glam. So I have that. It's all there. I might go back and add some. I mean, you can always add other stuff. I don't mind that too much down here. But anyway, so that's it. I'll go back and write these on something that I can put in here. I've been really bad about that, though. Not going back in and finishing. So I need to really do that and be a little more diligent. And this is it for this week. The word is random. The hashtag is inspired2create_2023. We hope that you join us. See, it's not... I know some of the words are getting long. This one wasn't too bad. It was 6 letters, so it wasn't too bad. And, you know, you just do it in whatever fashion you want. And if you want to just take the random word and glue down a bunch of random pictures and basically make a random glue book page, you go for it. And anyway, if you like what you see, please like and subscribe. I'm trying to hit 1,000 subscribers. I'm well on my way. But anyway, I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you watching. And I hope to see you back. And I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.